The idea that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris liked one another, respected one another, and got along was always ridiculous. I made videos about this. I talked about it. I wrote about it. But the signs were always there that Joe Biden didn't think all that much of Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris thought that Joe Biden and the Bidens, Joe Biden, and his staff were constantly shunning her, giving her bad assignments, not helping her position to run for president. And in the first excerpt of that book, which came out in The Atlantic earlier this week, Harris writes that it was quote unquote recklessness for Joe Biden to run for a second term, and that he was too beholden to his ego and his own ambition, and the job was too important and the stakes were too high for an ego and ambition to get in the way of what was right for the party and the country. She also savaged Biden's staff. She said this, quote, "Their thinking was zero sum. If she's shining, he's dim. None of them grasped that if I did well, he did well. His team didn't get it." One more. "When the stories about Harris were unfair or inaccurate, the president's inner circle seemed fine with it. Indeed, it seemed as if they decided I should be knocked down a little bit more." As you might guess, those comments occasioned comments from Biden world pushing back on Harris. And I'm going to get into those in 1 minute. Subscribe. Okay, so Harris basically says Biden was too old, shouldn't have run, put his ego and his ambition first. His team never supported me. They never really liked me, and they were fine with me being criticized. Well, here comes the pushback via Alex Thompson, who is one of the two people, along with Jake Tapper, who wrote the book about Joe Biden's demise and decline while in office. I'm just going to read you a few quotes. Here's one former Biden White House official. Quote, "Vice President Harris was simply not good at the job. She had basically zero substantive role in any of the administration's key work streams and instead would just dive bomb in for stilted photoshops that exposed how out of the depth she was." Here's another. Biden is, quote, "not the reason she struggled in office or tanked her 2019 presidential campaign.